Test. Okay, here we go. It's Francis and Dad again. Welcome to my channel. Tonight, I'd like to have a bit of chinwags with you guys regarding the topic MGTOW and education. I'd like to review some of the underlying correlations between these two entities. Now, first of all, when you think of education, what's the very first thing that comes to your mind? The tips, the strategies being taught by the teachers and as well as educators to teach you things about life, things and tactics to improve your life, to improve the quality of life. I also mentioned the parameters you might need to use in order to assess your current quality of life, and in correlation to various factors, various both outside and inside factors, or to say determinants. What exactly determines whether you can make yourself a good living or otherwise. So back to the vulnerability, the flawed, why do I think the conventional nowadays education is full of flaws, full of vulnerabilities, full of useless craps? First of all, what do we usually learn at school? Since primary school to uni, postgraduate onwards, what do you think you've learned? Aside from mathematics, aside from literacy, English, aside from, let's say, from people skills, communication skills, what have you learned? Do you think physics, biology, history, politics, as well as computer science, IIT really prove useful to your current life and to your future life in the next couple of decades, let's say, or even in the next half decade? How useful do you think the knowledge you managed to acquire at school, at unis, and how much exactly of the knowledge you can actually put to practical use during practical scenarios at workplace? I also try to ask these couple of questions in front of a couple of my friends in Australia, from Japan, from the States, and pretty much I'd say nearly 80% of them told me that they hate their current job. They just dislike it, or at least they dislike their current job. It's pretty boring. It doesn't teach them shit. It doesn't offer them shit opportunities to get promoted. One of my uni classmates, she got a, let's say, a full-time offer. Probably, yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I'm just trying to tell you what I've heard, with honesty. Yes, she completed the degree of Bachelor of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering at the University of Sydney, and she's now performing the job as a test analysis. She's now in charge of testing construction materials for medium-sized, let's say, probably a civil engineering company, I'd say. Yes, just running the statistical tests, statistical analysis, etc. Those kind of things. And she told me that she doesn't like her current job. Yes, and that's absolute truth. That's absolute truth, at least so I heard. Yes, and the other thing I like to mention is the conventional school or university education doesn't actually teach us critical thinking. What is critical thinking? What do you think critical thinking is? Well, let me provide you a very simple and straightforward example. Once you did you failed to accomplish a certain task. Who and what do you attribute this failure to? Can you really identify the exact underlying causes of such failure? I bet most of you guys don't actually, even including me. I sometimes really can't figure out what's been exactly gone wrong with myself, with the people around me, with my teammates, and with the the overall big picture, the overall trend of how the world runs itself. So you see that the conventional education doesn't really teach us the critical thinking, and the critical thinking, one of the critical thinking skills is how to pinpoint the underlying causes of the underlying compelling reasons under certain certain phenomena and certain certain events. So you can see that the basic logic and reasoning has the conventional education not only it suppresses basic logic and ordinary thinking, but it also suppresses your capability to think outside the box, to think with flexibility and creativity. It really just focuses on how to score high marks that much. Once your ideas, your proposals can attract your superiors, your lecturers, instructors' approval, then you pass. There isn't really even if there is a universal standard to gauge and measure or assess your performance. It really still, even if that standard do exist, it still doesn't help much. It still doesn't help you to think critically and to analyze a certain problem or to identify a certain problem critically and analytically. It's just shit. I really think the current education system needs an overhaul, not to mention a reform. Yeah, you get what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, so once the crucial part is to of critical thinking lies in identifying the exact cause of certain failure or certain problems from a variety of factors, from a variety of numerous seemingly correct factors or determinants. Yeah, I hope what I'm trying to say has made some sense to you guys. And anyway, guys, I won't keep you long in front of my video. So if you do happen to enjoy this video clip, please feel free to share it, to adopt my ideas. I don't actually approve of the shit copyright policies of YouTube anyway. So just don't post spams or scans under this video. And I thank you again sincerely for watching and listening. I'm your host, Francis and Dad, signing off, and see you next time on YouTube. Have fun, God bless, enjoy Weekend Friday. Cheers.